I'm the Tez.
Welcome to the TezDown. Welcome.
I'm the Tez.
Mic check 1 2. Welcome. Welcome to the TezDown. Party time. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, research, education, and parody. Under this act, fair use is permitted use of copyrighted content that might otherwise infringe on the exclusive rights of copyright holders. The TezDown podcast is a platform for entertainment and education. Edutainment, a blend of education and entertainment, emphasizes content that informs while it entertains. The views expressed in this channel's commentary do not necessarily reflect or represent the views of the hosts, and may not always reflect complete or verified accuracy of information presented. All content, including commentary, analysis, and discussion, falls within the legal parameters of fair use. We make no claims to ownership of any third-party content. This is the TezDown. Sports unscripted, culture unfiltered. Thank you for understanding.
You don't want zero problems, big fella.
Are you making another beat, Daddy?
What up, nephew?
And Genius is my dad.
Hey, Lay. Classic. Bass. Hard times ain't nothing at all. Really come from a struggle. Move around Michael Buffer. Always ready to rumble. All that mean is off the muscle. Y'all can't match my hustle. Screen bucket, that's a cuzzo. Bigger key to no muzzle. Lately I'm feeling exhausted. Think I'm tired of being humble. Coach all on the duffel. Chip on my shoulder, you don't wanna ruffle. Where I come from, everybody is cutthroat. Could've been dead, I'm just doing what I'm up for. My old homie jumped off the roof. I tried to shepherd, he was nuts so. Life, win or you lose, you gotta pick it or choose. Inspired, chose to win. Now I went first on a cruise. The shortest path always straight. Why you all in your own way? You scream YOLO to be goofy instead of using that to be great. You black, you should be proud. When I die split money with the apes, it's gonna be a ton. I'm running up the rate. My name on your tongue, I'm coming up the ranks.
Welcome to the TezDown. It is bright and early on a Monday. And we got some things to address today. And before I even say it, we got some special guests in the building. So I'm going to play their theme music. Go ahead and come on through, y'all.
I'm only gonna do this once. Classic. Lord God, anything attached to me that could be holding me down.
Good morning, y'all. We got ThatGirlCassie and KirraSheree in the building. What's up, ladies? How are you doing today?
Hey, what's going on, Tez?
So this is episode 2 of HERstory. And as you guys can see, I'm pushed all the way to the side yet again. Whenever two ladies come in the building, I put them side by side. I put them in center focus so you guys can focus on what they have to say and the things that they're doing. So it's Monday for me. It's Monday for y'all too, right? Did y'all have a good weekend?
Yes. Yeah, I had a great weekend. Pretty chill.
Billy said the audio and the video is fine. Passport Skull was in the building. What's up with this roll call? Passport Skull, what's up, Skull? How you doing? Ramon, what's on, Ramon? How you doing? It's nice to see you in here. Soft Rain is in the building. Conversation with Soft Rain, the first lady of the RSC. What's up, Roxy? Roxy's in the building too. Oh yeah, we got everybody in here today. What's going on, y'all? He said, "Ooh, beauty on the panel." Thanks, Ramon. I'm pretty sure they appreciate it. Y'all ladies appreciate that or nah?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah. They said thank you. So, what do you guys think the first topic of the day is going to be?
Surprise us, Tez.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to surprise you guys with something fun. We're not doing no politics today, y'all. This is more of the social commentary that I promised you guys last week. We got a story for y'all, and ladies, feel free to stop me at any time to interject about what you're being forced to watch.
on this next story. So let's get it going. This is the Abstinent Bachelorette. In her story, she said sometimes saying no isn't safe. And I don't really know what she means by that. I don't know what she means by saying no isn't safe, but we're going to find out.
Honey, you're getting the app number. Until I am comfortable with you, you're getting the app number. What is your take on giving out your phone number, ladies and gentlemen too, but ladies more so? I ain't got time to be trying to figure out if you cool or not. If I have to deal with a stalker, if I have a disagreement with you, you don't like what I'm saying, now you blowing my phone up because you just don't get it. I just don't know. I gave my number out October. Oh no, not October, November last year. And it was pure accident. And the only reason this dude got my number is because I could not think of my app number. He was cool, but I was not interested. And we live in a day now where as a woman, you cannot say no to a guy and be all right. I'm not saying this is every man, but there has been a widespread amount of men who are being rejected and they can't handle it. And they are in fact hurting women, harming women, unaliving some, shooting at them and whatnot. I don't got time to be trying to figure out if my telling you no is going to possibly end my life. So it's just best to now be prepared. Ladies, have you an app number? Have you a Google, what is the Google number? Have you a Google number? I have Google numbers. I have app numbers. Because no, you can't have my number. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, but I am. Because I have to protect myself, my family, which you do to be.
So when I know, if y'all don't know, Kirra, this doesn't really apply to you because you would be on the married side of things. So I would say that. So if you can remember back to when you were a dating lady, how about that? Does that work for you?
Sure.
All right. So I'm going to ask you guys this question: when you guys were dating, do you just give people your phone numbers, or do you find alternative ways to have them contact you should you want to be contacted?
Well, for me, back in the day, if I can remember, most of the dating was done by like way of a friend of a friend. Like it was always a situation to where like, you know, you and your homegirls go out to like a party, like a local kickback or like a local party or something like that. And it's like, oh, okay, this is a safe space, a familiar space. And I met somebody and somebody can vouch for that person, right? At like a low kickback, you know? But now people aren't getting out as much as they used to. A lot of things are done behind the screen and a lot of like online dating apps. So it is a little bit of a trickier space because you don't know what you're getting. You don't have nobody to kind of vouch if that person is somewhat of a decent person anymore. Cause you know, people are just meeting random people online and trying what they think is the right thing to do as far as dating. But I was never the type of female to give out my number to anybody. No, that wasn't happening. And I'll land there.
Mm-hmm. Cassie, what about you?
First off, hell no to the dating apps. And I watch who I give my number out to. I've had like multiple people, like when I'm out like at the bar, I've had a couple of people ask me for my number and I have no problem telling them no. Like I can tell if you're like giving me weird vibes or if you're giving me like genuine vibes. And if you don't seem cool to me, I'm not giving you my number and I'm not downloading an app to give you a fake number. I'm not doing all that. That takes too much energy. I don't have time for that.
So what I'm gathering from you, now let me know if I'm wrong, if I'm picking this up the wrong way. Okay. What do y'all ladies say? Clock me or whatever?
Clock it.
Okay. Yeah. I don't really speak the lady lingo, so you got to help me out there.
Got you.
If you weren't feeling somebody, like for whatever reason, I'm not saying that, you know, you might not have thought they were kind of cute or, you know, y'all was set up on a date. I'm saying you're not feeling them that way and like you immediately have bad vibes that make you not want to give your phone number out to them. So is this a one size fits all thing, or is this a I didn't feel that person, I'm not giving them my number?
It's just I wasn't feeling them. I'm not giving them my number.
You know what? You always come up here with perfect opinions,
Sorry.
and I gotta say it's too early to say they perfect on the panel, but all right, let's just keep it rolling. Let's just keep it rolling. So, Kirra, so you don't think it's a good idea either to give them any type of communication if you don't think they're solid?
I mean, I'm not saying that you shouldn't. I mean, you would just have to use your own discretion. I mean, like, how else are we meeting people? Like, so yeah, definitely use your best discretion, because that's just the times that we live in. But I just remember how it was for us back in the day. It's like the safest way to date is to find somebody at like your local, even if going to like a high school football game or like a college football game or whatever have you, like just having some type of reference point to where somebody could vouch like that they're not crazy.
Yeah. So this all comes down to, me asking. Because, I don't know. So I ask the questions because I never know. What happens when you get into a situation where, like, you feel like you're cornered? You know what I mean? Like, you feel like you can't say no because of whatever reason you might feel like you can't say no.
Okay, I have given a fake number out one time because he would not take no for an answer.
Like, describe the situation, if you don't mind. If you don't mind, because you look. If y'all don't know, number one, when I do go out, I'm usually working, and so my job is to keep the creeps away. If I'm out, my random couple of nights a month, I'm out working. I'm at a bar or a club, but my job is to keep the creeps away from the ladies. So I don't really know, because it's like my job is to get rid of them when they start, not when they finish. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there are places that I know people will go and they don't have that type of protection and they don't have that type of security. So what happens when you go to a place where security is kind of oblivious to what's going on?
I really don't. Actually, I get paranoid. So like I tried this new thing where I like go out by myself to kind of get out of my comfort zone. But then that situation happened. Like he was intoxicated and he just kept following me like literally everywhere. So I'm like, you know what? Like, I'm just going to give you my number. I'm about to leave. And I even tried telling him I was a lesbian and that didn't work. So I just gave him a fake number and then I left, which was no fun for me because then I missed out on the party, right? But that's okay because he made me feel very uncomfortable.
Yeah. I mean, if somebody makes you feel uncomfortable, the party's over.
Absolutely.
So I think part of this show is because there seems to be a great divide between what men think you should do versus what you think that you should do or other women think that they should do. Most men would say just don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
But that sounds unfair, right?
Right.
The last time that we had this conversation, I believe the words that I used were, my brain, the way my brain works is if somewhere isn't safe for me at any point, I shouldn't be there at all. And even though I should be able to be there, right, I know better than being there. So I'm just not going to be there. And I'm not going to fight for my right to be there. I'm not going to protest for my right to be there. And I'm not going to hold anybody else accountable for me not being able to be there. I'm just not going to go. So I totally understand, that side of it. But yeah. I love to ask women because, and feel free to jump down my throat, ladies, and everybody else on the internet as usual. If this is what you believe, if this sounds terrible to you, but if somewhere was a bad place to be, why don't we just not go?
I mean, I'm with that.
It's like, I love when people say, make this safe, but for who? Like, it's not safe. It's not a safe place. So why are we trying to make it like we could just not go? Everybody could just not go. And then everybody who's not safe can be not safe together.
Yeah, look at him.
That way, there's no protector that's going to get hurt. There's no protected that's going to get hurt. And then all the not safe people can go have a not safe party together. and everybody knows that, okay, everybody over there in the idiot room are having a not safe party. So go enjoy the not safe party if you want to be a part of the idiot room. But it's at the idiot room. It's on Dumbass Street. Make sure you take 2 lefts.
Yep.
You know, that's what my brain says. Now, after being on the internet for a couple of minutes, I find out that that's not what everybody else believes about what my brain says.
Mm.
So I want to hear from ladies. If y'all wanted to go, now obviously you don't, and obviously Kira would have no business being there anyway. But for some of y'all friends, y'all probably have friends who like to go out and like to do things.
Yes.
What would you tell them if they were to say this needs to be safer for women? The men should do something about this. But let me tell you, the men who would do something about it are probably at home on the couch watching TV.
Probably.
Yeah,
It's Friday night.
Point. That's definitely a good point. That's a solid point.
Jesus.
Right. So it's like half the thing about accountability needs to be proximity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Proximity and respect. Those are 2 of the biggest factors when it comes to accountability. How can I hold somebody accountable? Like for example, let's just pick a random state, right? Let's say that you have a friend in Arkansas. If you called me, who is in Chicago, to handle your friend in Arkansas, I would look at you like, hey, I would love to help you, but I don't know what to do because they're in Arkansas. So please tell me, and that's me asking you, please tell me, what do you think I should do?
But I have a question though, Tez. What happens when a situation happens like that where a guy doesn't handle rejection well, but it happens in a very normal space, whether it's at the mall or whether it's at the movies or whether it's at work? Like how do we hold men accountable in those situations when a woman rejects them and it don't make them feel too good? Like these things aren't always just happening in like the bars or the clubs or the lounges. Like it's happening in a lot of like regular places.
Well, I think first, so this is a compound question. The first one is because if you reject somebody, I still don't know how I'm supposed to hold them accountable because they're upset. 9 times out of 10, I don't even know you're talking to them.
Right.
10 times out of 10, I don't care.
I love you.
I'm just keeping it 100. What you allow to be put in you and everything else, and what they put their stuff into, it's absolutely none of my business. I don't even know what half of my friends' wives look like or girlfriends, or if they even have them, because we just don't talk about it. Now, mind you, there are some guy groups that do. My guy group, the guys that I hang around and talk to, none of us really talk about that stuff. You know, their lives are separate. You know what I mean? Like if I have met their wife, they're probably a really, really close friend, close enough to be a brother. And that makes their wife a sister. And to me, that's disgusting because who would want to date their own sister? I'm not from South Carolina. You know what I'm saying? I'm not from Virginia. This is not Appalachia. You know what I mean? This is not Appalachia. This is Chicago. You know what I mean? So I don't have the urge to do any of that. So I don't think that type of stuff.
Yeah, I can agree with that. But as far as like, as far as holding, like expecting you or anyone else with a platform to hold men accountable, I think it's important to, just like how, I don't have no control or no say so in a fight if I see a woman twerking on the side of the street, right? Like that's none of my business. But I will say, if I have a platform and if I have a voice, call it out. Like, if you see, like, men, we got to be stronger emotionally so that we can handle whenever it's a situation to where the woman rejects us or, denies you whatever offer you're trying to give to the woman. Like these things need to be called out. Like, just like how, you guys expect us to hold women accountable.
I mean, at this point, I don't know too many men that want to see women hold other women accountable. I will say honestly, if you remember from earlier that the show that called I Give Up, That was for real. That was real. That was live. That wasn't a ploy. We didn't write that show. It was I give up. It's you can do whatever you want to do when you want to do it. I just don't have to pay you any attention while you're doing it. If you're a woman, I'm not going to judge you based on what you're doing. You do whatever you want to do. But if I could comment about it during commentary, same way as I comment on these dudes. Think about it. I haven't given a woman a name yet. We gave the stereotype guy that does all this stuff a name, and the name stuck. Everybody in the comment section right now, if y'all are here, what do we call guys who ain't spit? What do we call them? Now, I don't have time to watch the Rodneys roll in, but I'm gonna let y'all know we named him Rodney. I think that's so not just calling him Rodney, but pointing out all the negative traits that he has and how he deals with, wonderful women and the not so wonderful women, how he moves in the streets. We call that out all the time. We call out the men who are not, now mind you, this isn't everybody. I'm talking about me and the people that I surround myself with, all of them. You know what I mean? We call out the men that are acting out, not being men, not being manly, not taking care of business, not looking out for his lady, divorced from chivalry.
Yeah, but I have to give you a little bit of pushback on that one, Tez, because I feel like a lot of the times whenever you in particular, you call out the Rodneys, it's in chastisement of the woman for picking that said person. It's never like, oh, you Rodneys, we're going to focus on you and, holding, or not, maybe not so much holding a man accountable, but adding specific commentary for said Rodney, as opposed to it being like I said, a chastisement for women for choosing that woman or that guy. Sorry.
So here's the thing. What if I was to tell you that Rodney can't be better? And we know this. That no amount of chastising Rodney was going to make him a better person.
Well, then that would kind of like, I don't know. I don't believe all Rodneys are bad guys. If you guys say that the Rodney is considered the top 20% of men, right?
No.
Oh, okay. So I guess whenever you say it's either Rodneys or the bottom 80%.
So the educated Rodney.
I need a little bit of clarity.
That was one video. We had an educated Rodney. He was Rodney, but he had a whole lot of privilege and a whole lot of education.
Okay.
And therefore he had a bunch of money.
Okay. But that kind of, I don't know, Tez, I think that this.
Correct me if I'm wrong, podcast. He said, hey, Tez, that ain't true. I'm a reformed Rodney.
Right. So that's what I was going to say. So like, what happens to the guy who do we call the guy who is maybe not so much a Rodney, but who is just a regular everyday guy who has access to money and access to women, right?
So most of the Rodneys don't have access to money, by the way.
Okay. All right. So I guess I'm confused on who the Rodney is.
Correct me if I'm wrong, podcast. If you remember from the other night, he is like the Chris Brown of Rodneys. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, hell.
By his own admission and his own statements, he's like the Chris Brown of Rodneys. Tall, tattooed, light skin, wavy hair, pretty eyes. That's what they said out of their own mouths, right? But they will watch this guy do something horrendous and still say, but he danced so good.
Oh, hell.
But he sings so good and he smiles. What can I say to that man about changing his life if hundreds of people, and I mean this seriously, hundreds of people continue to throw themselves at his feet and feed him grapes?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but I guess I think that minimizes our voices. Because if that was the case, then what's the point of having these conversations in general? If people are just going to be people and do what they do, what's the point of getting online and wasting our time, wasting our breath? Like, I would hope that anyone with a platform who can have any amount of reach, whether it's one person or whether it's 100 people, I would hope that they are using their platform for good, right? Not spreading propaganda, not spreading division. Like, just we trying to make progress, I would hope, so I think we should start holding a little bit more value in our voices and how we can kind of hold each other accountable and just make this culture better. Because it
Right.
depends on us. It definitely depends on us.
Right.
You know.
So I have one caveat here, and this is coming from the manosphere, okay? So I'm not super altruistic, if you didn't know. You know, I'm forward thinking and I am progress minded, but I'm not super altruistic because you know I don't really believe in fairy tales and stuff that's not real. Why do you or any other woman expect for you know, let's just say an average guy to help Rodney get you better when y'all could just not talk to Rodney?
No, I get that, but it's not all Ronnies that have issues with rejection. It's not all Ronnies that find themselves being a little bit too.
We have a word for that. It's called incels.
No, but there are regular decent guys who have an issue with rejection, Tez. It's not like it's not one extreme or the other. There are some people who are like kind of in the middle who are having a hard time with like processing their emotions, like in terms of like how
were
they
decent men then. If they're having a hard time with you saying the word no, then they're not a decent person.
I don't believe that because some men think that if they press just a little too hard, and I'm not saying like, you know, women feel like they are being like they're threatened as far as like being physically harmed. But what about a guy who a woman says, no, I'm good, but he keep on going? Like, bro, I already said no. Now you about to make me, you about to piss me off. And then you going to see that angry black woman that you don't want to see. And then it's going to be an issue. Like what happens to that regular?
I got some news for you. He ain't that regular and he's not that good.
I don't know, Tez. Some men
I'm telling you, if a
change.
guy does not say no, I mean, if the guy does not respect your no, then he's not a good guy. There's nothing good about him.
I don't know. I think what happens if the guy think that he can just, oh, you know, maybe she just playing hard to get.
Then he's not a good guy.
Okay.
What? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't.
Hey, y'all see it live.
Just because he's like hurt by the fact that you say no, it doesn't exactly mean he doesn't respect it. Maybe it just makes him feel like less of something or like he's lacking somewhere. Why does he have to not have any respect for it?
Here's the question: it's not that he's hurt; it's that he didn't respect the no. So he's still in your face. He's still trying. He's still sending texts. Or if he's right in front of you, baby, please grabbing on your arm and stuff. That's not a good guy.
I don't know. I mean, in theory, that's not a good guy, right? I want to be very clear about that. But we see that every day. And they regular people, they regular guys, like that used to be a thing, like where a guy will go up and like gently grab a woman's arm and say, like, that was a thing. And that doesn't necessarily mean that the guy is a bad guy, right? He's just a little bit more forward and a little bit direct than the average guy. Right. But let me tell you, one of the things that I see all the time, bro, is like men, and maybe it could be cultural, like where I'm, like the area, like I'm from Jersey. So the guys, they handle things a little bit differently. But like, how many times you see men walking in the mall, approaching women and women denying them, and the guy just embarrassing her and calling her like a bitch or something, excuse my language, but like just calling her a bitch because like she like just being real weird like that happens more often than not. But that doesn't necessarily mean he's a bad guy. He just didn't handle rejection well.
Okay, I'll accept your answer. I'm accepting it, but I'm throwing peanuts at it. I'm just letting you know that. I'm accepting your answer, but I'm throwing peanuts at it. Let's check out the chat and see what the chat has to say. We got Soft Rain. We already said what's up, Soft Rain. Put your ones in the air. I appreciate y'all. Tristan, what's up, Tristan? How you doing, man? They said, hey, Kirra and Cassie. What's up? Roxy said that. She said, hey, y'all. Ramon said beauty on the panel. Tristan, I don't know if that's an okay finger or the ring. Probably both. Revan, howdy, y'all. What's up, Revan? How you doing? Sometimes life hits hard. Yes, it does, Revan. And for those of you who life hits hard, just let them know that Tez hits harder. Call me on my cell phone, whoever you might be. I got you. Here we go. When people make statements like this, I feel like it should come with stats. So Kirra, Ramon said you need to bring stats. In Too Deep said, let's go. They talking in the chat. They talking in the chat. Let's see what they going. Welcome in, everyone. You come in, please click the like button. Roxy said, hit them likes, y'all. Rigid said, in the open, saying no should be easy. He said, saying no should be easy. Yami said, I used to give the Domino's number out. Tristan said, women shouldn't have to give their number out, and if they don't want to. At the same time, y'all reactions be very exaggerated sometimes. In Too Deep said, Roxy, hello, Rigid, what's up? Y'all chatting a lot in the chat. Okay. Tristan said, Yami, somebody did that to me, but it was a restaurant number. Yami said, I wouldn't put myself in certain situations either, honestly. I see Yami, I'm on that side. I don't like putting myself in situations. Like my favorite thing is who all gonna be there. You know, I love to ask that question whenever I'm invited anywhere. Is who's all gonna be there?
I know that's right.
Hey, who over there right now? Look, so I am notorious for this. If you guys are watching and y'all see that girl Cassie up there, that girl Cassie is, you know, she's pretty decent TikTok creator. You know, she has, you know, hundreds and thousands of people come through her TikTok lives, right? So they have the thing on TikTok where they send it out to their friends and say, hey, come join my panel or come join this live right now. I'm doing battles, right? So I'm notorious for, hey, who over there? I'm notorious for it. Who on screen right now? I see the invitation. I go see who's on screen. Yeah. I ain't got the energy for them today. Let me just go ahead and swipe. You know what? I'm about to put a movie on, y'all. Y'all have fun in the streets. You know, let me send over a couple coins here, a couple coins there. Y'all, I'm about to go. Hey, support. You know what I'm saying? Let me get up out of here real quick though, because this person don't be talking about shit. Let me get up out of there. Rigid said some guys need a hard no. I'm with you, Rigid. Tell them no. Yami said should have ordered some, Tristan. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all get it when y'all get a chance. Subscribe to KirraSheree, and also coming up in the next few hours, there's going to be That Girl Cassie YouTube page. We'll get that going soon. So it's just going to be That Girl Cassie. Y'all know how to find Kirra on here too. Ray says some dudes do not handle rejection well. No, they don't, because they suck. I keep telling y'all this. I don't want to get with you. I'm not playing hard to get. I know what I'll miss. Leave me alone. It's already awkward. Yeah, Rigid. Exactly. Soft Rain said ends up being all kinds of BS, and 304 is at that sign of rejection. A lot of dudes will go ham because you rejected them. Here's the thing. And when it comes to rejection, it's kind of like you almost have to have a lot of thick skin when you reject a guy. Like, you don't owe nobody nothing. First of all, you don't owe anybody a conversation. You don't owe anybody a text message. You don't owe anybody a video, a picture, nothing. You don't owe them anything. I cut people off with resolve. I'd be like, via con Dios, and they never see me again. Poof, I'm gone. They make 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pages so they could try to come back and talk to me. I don't want to talk to you. Just leave me alone. That's not violent. That's just serenity, peace, calm, nigalations. I don't need to go in the book of nigalations because somebody bothering me. Just let me have my peace so you can have yours. But here's the thing. Mariah Carey had a song. It's called Obsessed. I heard the song. I knew what she said in the song. There are some people who become obsessed with you, with the access to you. And that's why I got to say, a lot of this can be solved at the very beginning. Don't tell them too much about you. Don't entertain them for too long. Call somebody and get some help. And secondly, telling a dude that you're a rainbow warrior is probably going to excite them more in 2026.
Crazy.
They don't care. Telling them you're married does not work. Telling them you have a boyfriend does not work. So ain't nobody discounting that at all. Guys don't care. Matter of fact, if you're married or a part of the rainbow community, or if you are engaged or something like that, they see this as the least amount of commitment, especially the Rodneys. They don't want the commitment. They wanted you for your booty, not your beauty. And I think that everybody can understand that, because that's never going to go away. No matter how much preaching that any of us do on the top of a soapbox, I don't think that's ever going to go away. I think there's always going to be guys who don't care about nothing but some box. That's what I think. And I think no amount of y'all should be better and shaking our fists at them is going to change it. That's what I truly believe. Now, can we bring awareness to the situation? Yes. And that is why we are here today. McKinnon said, Sounds like a lot like don't go to white spaces because you might get hurt from decades ago. People didn't accept that, and we had some progress on who could be safe where. I don't know if that's true, McKinnon. I don't go to certain spaces because I'm not safe. And I don't hang around certain people because they're not safe. And I don't expect that to ever change. And I think that me wanting it to change makes me unsafe. If I can identify a leopard by its stripes, I'm going to identify a leopard by its stripes. The worst thing that happened in today's society is that they took their hoods off and started wearing suits. No, put the hoods back on so I know exactly how many of y'all it is in this town. I might not be able to see your faces, but I know there's about 136 of y'all. I counted. Now we don't know where they are. I mean, they're in Congress, but we don't know exactly which one of them all the time. But most of them are in Congress. You know this already. You could call me a separationist. I don't like society. I don't like the people in society. I don't like societal practices. I don't even like how society is spelled, which is why I don't spell it that often on here. The whole idea just makes my skin crawl. Like, I'm going to need to take a shower after I get off the stream because I had to say society 4 times in a row. Like, the other day, we had a birthday party for, one of the guys in the RSC, and I made a joke, and I was like, this is the only way y'all was getting either one of us to go to a birthday party, even if it's his party. I would never been at a birthday party. Right? What? A birthday party? There's too many people there, and y'all have germs. Most of y'all don't wash your hands. Not efficiently. Not efficiently at all. Or you only use coconut-based oils, and that's going to break up my skin a little bit. So when I give you an elbow bump and not a fist bump or a handshake, it's not because I don't like you. It's because I don't like people. And you just happen to be a people. You cool, though, even if you are a people. I'm just not going to touch you. You're not going to touch me either. It's the way that it is. Those are my boundaries. I'm sticking. My boundaries does not like to be touched. It's especially by strangers. Could you imagine that? Like, think about this. Like, culture has gotten to the point where you can't even give a handshake to anybody because you don't know what they were doing with their fingers. I drive by so many people each and every day, and their fingers are in their nose the entire time they drive it. Y'all have seen this too, haven't you? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you're funny.
Yeah. You see why I don't like public places. Those same people that was driving with their fingers in their noses trying to shake my hand right now. Can't shake my hand.
Disgusting.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I practically look at things. I'm looking at them practically. I can't change them. They have all the autonomy in the world to shove 4 fingers up their nose before they get out the car. But I have all the autonomy to tell them not to touch me. Or not. I don't, when people come to the window, I roll the window down about this much. About that much. Now, mind you, I have lived in Chicago for most of my life. You don't really want to roll your window down all the way because you might be outside your car in the next 10 seconds as you're doing so. There are certain parts of the city where they will pull you clean out your car, seatbelt and all. You still got the seatbelt on, but you out the car. You know what I'm saying? And they're down the street somewhere. Y'all don't believe me? Look up the story on the Kia Boys. They wasn't playing. They was not playing. Yami said they don't. Some dudes start tripping when you say no. They becomes all kinds of BS. Yeah, I mean, yes, that is. But here's the thing, though. If they were tripping, they weren't good people. Y'all can't agree on that, right?
No.
Kira, can I come over your house right now?
Absolutely not.
Okay, that's cool. I didn't want to go over there, no way. That's cool. See how easy that was, y'all? I'm a good dude. I don't want to go to Kira's house.
Yeah, but sometimes it's an ego trip whenever, especially if it's more than one person around. Like if it was just like, from what I've seen, like if it's just the guy and the girl, then, maybe it's easier to get over a situation like that. But like when it's one or more, 2 or more people, it's different and they respond different. But I guess to your point, I can see how you can say, you know, if they can't control their emotions, then they're not a good person anyway. But what happens if a girl takes up a guy, you know, takes up that offer and she starts dating a guy, not even knowing or seeing the signs of him being crazy because she accepted his offer? What happens then?
I mean, you break up with them, you start seeing them act crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think there's a way, and as horrible as this may sound, I don't think there's a way on either side to know 100% whether somebody is faking the funk or if they being real. See, the thing is with me, I don't put nothing past nobody at all. I don't put it past my mom. I don't put it past my dad. I don't put it past my friends, my cousins, nobody. Everybody can get it equally. If I say you acting up, you acting up. I'm not making no exceptions. I'm not making no explanations. There's not going to be no good well, you got good faith. No, you acted up. Act right. Ninja, act right. What's wrong with you? And if that wake up call doesn't wake you up, this friendship is over. This sonship could be over. And y'all know I love my mama. You know what I'm saying? But let her start acting up. Is she gonna see how distant I get? That's look, my peace and my serenity and my safety are paramount to my survival. How can I survive if I'm letting people in my space who want to harm me because I don't give them what they want? Like I get it. I totally get it. I would push forward. In my advice to all the women that have men, when you say the words, no, that is not an option. It's either to one, cut them completely off, or two, cut them completely off. Because if you the forgiveness and you know what, they said sorry. Look, you accept somebody's apology, you waiting for them to do it again. Especially if y'all not tight. Now, I must address before it gets brought up, what if y'all were friends and they caught feelings, right? What if I told y'all that that's not a thing, that they always had them?
That could be true. That could be true. I always say, like, I personally believe that the person that people are supposed to be with, they've already met them. Like, I am a firm believer in people already being in close proximity of the person that they're supposed to be with. So I can see that.
We got some more chats. Let's get through them so we can get through the rest of the show. Amasha, I'm a sharp Cupid. What's up? I'm a sharp Cupid. How you doing? Rigid vibrations. Try to whisper to him because most be screaming for no reason. They do be screaming for no reason. Rodney's been acting up. Roxy said, I don't go out, but if I ever did, I'm not feeling it. I'm gonna say no, and that's not a hard no. I mean, that's not heard. I'm gonna say no, hell no, and then I'm gonna go cold. You can see my RBF, and I'm gonna walk away. Good day, but not with me. Roxy said, I'm so happy I don't go out. I like my house. It's paid. All my things are here. I have my own snacks. I like that.
I love that.
Tons of mice say, if you have a friend in Arkansas who needs some learning equals hack their roadkill delivery service. McKinnon said, you're answering a question nobody asked. Nobody's asking you to fix other men. They're asking whether you're willing to make it socially expensive to be one of the bad ones in your own circle. It is socially expensive to be a bad one in my circle because I cut you off. I will cut you off. I will ostracize you. I talk crazy about you to other people, but ultimately I'm going to be minding my own business. I mean, if you're infringing upon my space, then yes, I'm going to make sure everybody knows that you suck. If you do something to one of the ladies in my circles, I'm going to make sure that everybody knows you suck. If you do something to somebody else, and I find this out, and it's a concrete fact, and it's not a crying wolf situation, I'm going to make sure that people know you suck. If you grift, I'm going to make sure you suck. If you don't take showers on Fridays, I'm going to make sure you suck and tell everybody that you suck. Okay? I don't understand the dichotomy here with this question because I'm going to make sure that people suck if they suck. The overlooking is not what we do. That's a good old boys thing. I don't know too many guys. Now, mind you, maybe it's just because I've built a good circle. I don't know too many guys who would treat women terribly the way that these women are describing or act this way. That's juvenile in behavior. Who can't accept no? It's easy to accept no. It really is. Now, is there a learning curve of going through this as times change? Yes, because if you're a millennial, if you are a millennial in today's society right now, you have lived in 4 different eras of how to approach people. And it is different each and every time. I had a video queued up that I was going to play, and it was from 11 years ago. And that is no longer an acceptable part of society, that if this happened today, and we're only talking about 11 years. All of us were adults 11 years ago. All of us. We're only talking about 11 years. We've had a society shift in how we have behaved in public. And to the point where men see other men behaving badly, and we do say things about it. I don't know how many times I have been in public and other men haven't stepped in when men were acting up. I don't see that. I don't see that. I saw that on the west side of Chicago. I saw that on the south side of Chicago. I see it in the suburbs. I saw it on the north side. I mean, I see it everywhere I go. There are some bad behavior people, but the majority of people have awakened, and they don't put up with that stuff anymore. There's stuff that you cannot do, say, or act around the women. And everyone that watches this podcast knows that I think that the best thing on earth is women. And if something better, I don't want it.
Yep.
So I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Like, I'm really not sure where the direction for that is. Like, you guys got to be a little bit more specific. And, you know, I can't speak for anybody else. I can speak for me and how I view things, but I can answer some specific questions if you got some. Yeah, it's not my Hit Too Deep said it's not my responsibility to make Rodney better. It's called 911. He's not putting his life in danger because you having a bad date and somebody's mad. Correct me if I'm wrong. Say it was good. Trisha said, but why are we putting the emphasis on a very small percentage of bad apples? Either one of y'all got an answer?
I mean, it's done with the women too. I think that the majority of the women that are shown is shown in like the worst of the worst light, and you know, it's unfortunate because it's very counterproductive. But yeah, just like, you know, we're hyper focusing on the bad guys, the bad guys. You know, there are a lot of times when people hyper focus on the bad women. So I guess that's just what we dealing with online.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Pa said, I do sing so well. Trisha said, that's crazy. Rodney gets validated more by women anyway. Does anybody want to address that?
Wait, repeat that again. What was that?
Tristan said Rodney gets validated more by women anyway.
In what way? I don't. In what ways? I mean, if that's the case, then being rejected. If a Rodney gets rejected, then that's not validation. So that's a complete contradiction.
Ramon replied, they don't realize that Pookies are Pookies because he's 6'5" and light skinned.
Oh my goodness. I don't have anything to say to that.
We can cruise right on past it.
Yeah.
Christian said, I promise you, if women close their legs to Rodney, this wouldn't be a conversation.
Yeah, but that's my thing though. I feel like we need to address, like, there is a large group of men who fall right in the middle of Rodney and the bottom 80%. There is a decent group of men who are there. And
there are only 7% of the population that are Rodney sized.
Okay, well,
and the dating statistics actually.
So for having a more meaningful conversation, can we identify? Are we talking in this conversation?
I will read the stats to you. 78% of women date the top 20% of men. They go for 20% of men in general. The top 20% does not mean the people with the money. It means the 20% that people go for. So that could be people with money. That could be people with status. That could be people who are aesthetically pleasing to their eyes traditionally.
Okay.
It's 70. This is by Medium. If you want to look them up yourself or anyone else in the chat, if they wanted to, actually, in Too Deep, if you're there, can you post the Medium stats from Tinder in there? It says that 78% of women do indeed date 20% of men on on these dating apps, right?
Hmm.
It also says that 80% of men date the bottom 22% of women, which means that 80% of guys are dating the bottom 22% of women. That means
The
that
worst of the worst.
78% of women are dating roughly 20% of men, and that is it. So your experiences would be marred because you've ran into a Rodney more times than you've ran into an average guy because you don't see them.
But here's my thing though, Tez, right? And so this is for me. How many times have you filled out your census, or how many times have you filled out a application for a survey? Where, like, I am not dismissing these stats, but I know me and nobody in my circle took any one of these surveys.
Well, this
And
wasn't a
so-
survey. This is a compilation of every user on social dating platforms.
Okay, so
So we're talking about potentially billions of people.
okay. I mean, I don't know. Even still, that could be true. I've never taken a survey online for any social media platform. So where are they getting this
Well,
information?
it's not a survey. It's not a survey at all.
Yeah, but even with the stats, like
They know what you click. It's their app. They know what you
Okay.
click. They know who you clicked on. They know when
Okay.
y'all met. They monitor your chats. It says right there on the it says right there AI assistant is monitoring the chat. So if he says something out of pocket, he can be banned from all of their dating platforms. And if you guys didn't know, the top 5 dating platforms are all linked by one company. So the comprehensive stats and the data are true.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. I'm not saying that, but I guess it's hard for me because the stats are very jarring, right? And there has to be some type of validity to it. But when I look at my everyday life and I look at my experiences that I see outside, like, I have never dated a Rodney. Now, I've been out the game for a long time, but I have never ever dated a Rodney or
If you don't mind
someone
me
who,
asking, what year did you
Mhm.
get married?
Of course, I got married in 2017. So I've been married almost 10 years.
So almost a
So
decade.
yeah, so I get that. I will get that. But even when I look at like my girlfriends, my sisters, I look at the people who are in close proximity to me, it is the complete contradiction to these stats. And so
Well, you probably don't have the type of people around you who are on dating apps 24/7.
correct. No, I do agree with that. But whenever we're having a conversation, I think it's important to acknowledge like nuance, right? Like these things, like two things can exist. And we need to hyper focus on what is the goal here? Like what is the plan here? Like for each individual person. Like that's something that they should be more intentional with doing. Like not all women are just looking for a Rodney. Not all men are just looking for a 304. So
Okay, so here's what I understand you to be saying. You tell me if I'm wrong or not. What you are telling me is a story about people in your life, an anecdotal experience, which is completely fine. Let's say you know 100 people. You've never seen 100 people do that.
okay.
If I told you that I saw 1,000 people every weekend do exactly that at work,
Okay.
how would that make you feel?
No, I can agree with that because what I gather is that you're the type of work that you do is where you are put in a position to see that. But Tez,
Yeah, I see dating. I see
yeah,
dating and dating dynamics in person
right.
from outside. Like I get an outside perspective on dating because even I don't have to be in their lives to see what's going on while
Yeah,
I'm
but
here.
I think it's also a point that you should like you work in an environment where you're going to see the bottom of the bottom. Like you're going to see that, right? Based off of what I gather, whether if you're at work for like at a bar or a lounge, but like, where do you consider yourself? Are you a Rodney or are you a part of the bottom 20 or 80%? So
No, Rodney is only about 7 to 8% of the population.
So right. So what I'm saying is like, can we hyper focus on men like yourself? Because Yeah, because
But there's
that's
not
what
that many.
I don't believe that.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Okay, so that's when you go to the stats, and that's
I
where it's
know
like
I know that I'm not for everyone. That's number one. I know that I'm not
Mhm.
for everyone. I never have been. I would like to say that I'm pretty unique as they come. And the reactions that I get from people is either I'm an acquired taste or they like me immediately and they can't stop. Oh, he's abrasive. But you know what? I like it.
Like
I get that a lot.
yeah, but even when I look at the guys that's on the RSC, like I'm sorry, I muted myself. Like, when I look at the guys on the RSC, like everybody seems like a pretty decent guy to me.
I don't know
So
them.
is it
What you talking about?
okay? All right.
They're
So
cool
now we're
people.
being a little semantic-y,
No,
Tiz.
I'm
But
not. I'm being 100% honest. I'm being
yeah, I
100%
mean, we
honest.
don't. Of course, we don't know them. We don't know
I have
them in
met
their
them a
personal.
couple of times in person.
Mhm.
We've had lots of conversations on the phone, lots of conversations in panels. But do I know people? No. And I wouldn't pretend to either. I had a best friend in my life who went everywhere with me and did everything with me and stabbed me in my back. Legitimately stabbed me in the back. There was no conversation even had about it. They did it like it was natural. Like they've been planning it the whole time because they probably were. See, here's the thing. I don't trust people.
Yeah.
And because I don't trust people, I don't ever think altruistic things about them. I think that people can and will people.
No, I get that, Tez. I get that, right? But we can't ignore that decent, okay, maybe not good or whatever. We don't want to use good because we don't know them, but at least somewhat of a decent person. Like there are decent men that exist, right? And I think, and I'm not trying to censor how you speak, right? Because this is definitely your platform, but I just think that it would just be a little bit more, it would be a little bit more meaningful if we focus on like not the worst of the worst or the bottom of the bottom, because yes, Rodneys do exist, but there are the decent guy who's trying to find a decent woman, you know?
Yeah, but what happens to him? The statistics
Okay.
say that
I
he's
mean,
ignored by 78% of women. I mean, we just had this conversation.
what do you mean, Tez? You don't
came
have it.
all the way
Wait.
back
No, that's
around.
not true. That Tez, you don't have an issue getting women.
No, I
You
don't.
ain't. You're not a Rodney, but you don't have issues getting women.
Right, but I also don't like people, so I don't go after all of them.
Okay. All right, Tez.
I tell you, you know what my strategy is?
We're gridlocked on this, though.
I'm gonna tell you what my strategy is, Kira. You know how
Uh-huh.
I avoid getting rejected by people?
Mhm.
I like people who like me. And the minute that I find out somebody don't like me, I don't like them. So I don't.
Okay.
So if she says, if a woman would say, you know what, Tiz, I'm just not feeling you like that. You know what I'll say to her? You know what? You're right. You're not feeling me like that. I hope you have a good life. But, well, like I said before, vaya con Dios. May the odds ever be in your favor. I have no animosity towards somebody that don't like me, but they just better not try to call me again or talk to me, because why would they try to call somebody they don't like? I'm upfront about people. I mean, about people, two people. I'm upfront about myself. I'm upfront about my intentions. I tell people, and if you came on too strong, everything over here is strong. If you didn't like that, you're not gonna like nothing else. So this is great that you wanted to end this and have no animosity about it. If I'm not compatible, I'm not compatible. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Like,
get that.
no amount of me edging myself to quote unquote be what you want me to be is gonna make me feel good about being like, okay. So if somebody said, you know what, Tiz, I need you to grow dreads because you're Jamaican and you're not representing your heritage right, and then I love you like I never loved any man before, sweetie, there are 6 million Jamaicans that you could literally get on a boat right now and go meet. 6 million. And then you got all the YNs with dreads. You go find you all the Jamaicans. You can find you all the faking Jamaicans, all the transplants. You might even be able to rock out with a Haitian or a Dominican or a Puerto Rican or somebody from Barbados or Trinidad. There's a lot. Or Dominica. There's a lot of islands in the Caribbean, y'all. I'm not gonna name them all. Turks and Caicos, but y'all know that I'm showing love to all of them. So, but you see what I'm saying? Though, I shouldn't alter a personality that's okay. that's not disrespectful, that's not thirsty, so somebody can like me. That I wouldn't like me at that point. I wouldn't. Or maybe you could just, grow your beard out 2 inches longer. What? I broke up with a chick before because she told me that she didn't like my facial hair.
What the hell?
Yep. She
Oh
told me she
man,
didn't like my facial
that
hair.
means you weren't really vested, Tez. That's
No, I
a
liked her.
crazy,
I liked her
that's
a lot.
crazy reason to
It,
break
it
up.
hurt. It hurt my soul, Kira. I liked her a lot, but she told me she didn't like my facial hair. And you know what? I wasn't willing to change about myself.
Your
My
facial hair?
facial hair. Yeah.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean. I mean, come on now. That doesn't mean that we can't. Is that something like why would you break up with someone because she said that she doesn't like you? Okay, does she like it? Does she not like it enough to where it bothers her or
Yeah, she mentioned it like 4 times.
Yeah, I was gonna say if she mentioned it, it had to bother.
Okay, I guess that
I listen to women when they talk.
Yeah, okay. If she's making an issue of it and you don't have a desire to cut your facial hair, I could see where that could be an issue. Okay, that's fair. But I was about to say, dang, that's a hell of a reason to break up with somebody.
What they say is strict over here. Into Deep said, what about the women that don't take rejection well?
Rejection in terms of what? Most of the time, women aren't being the ones propositioning men, are they?
It's 2026, Kira.
Oh my gosh. Are women really doing that? Do men like to be propositioned by women? Like do men actually want that?
Cassie, do I have permission to speak here on some personal elements of your life?
Yes.
Cassie, she's like I said, she's pretty popular in the TikTok streets, and
Okay.
she had a little relationship thing going on, a little squeeze, a little boo, a little cream cheese, a little brie. You know what I'm saying? She had her a little one of those. And she had to endure 72 days of people hitting on her man every single day, all day, because he was on TikTok 16 hours a day. She had to endure it 17 hours a day, all day for 72 straight days. And even when she was done, his groupies tried to attack her over leaving him over the issues.
That's crazy. That's
Cassie,
crazy.
would you care to expound on this story a little bit?
Yeah. Yeah, so I was talking to this, well, he's a kid, man. Well, he was talking to this kid, okay? I was talking to this boy.
His name was Rodney.
Yeah, he was definitely a Rodney, honey. He was Rodney times 10. It's like the definition of a real Rodney. Anyways, and yeah, his thing was I get it in a way, right? Like he was okay, good looking, right? Of course, I was attracted to him for some reason, but there was a lot of women, a ton of women always like throwing for him, which are like gifts, right? So he's making money. But then like we started talking, and then I got to a point where like these women would like come in and they'd be like, looking real edible, like this and that. And like for me, I'm like, that's kind of disrespectful, right? And it's like he didn't want other women to know about me. And for a minute, I was trying to be understanding about it because it's like I don't want him to lose supporters, right? Like this is why we're on TikTok. We need supporters, right? Sometimes you have to flirt, or you have to like listen to it, whatever. But it just became too much because he would like, it was like certain women where he'd be like, oh, thank you, my baby, this, thank you, my baby, that. And I'm like, why are you calling these women your baby, right? Like I thought it was weird. And he's like, oh, it's nothing like that. But then when it came to me, if a man were to go into my live and send a daily heart me or tell me that I'm beautiful, like he would start tripping in the chat. And I was like, what? Like, how can you do it, but I can't do it? And his excuse was, oh, I'm from Chicago. Like, that's how we talk, this and that. And I'm like, okay, well, in
He
Texas,
wasn't even from Chicago.
bro, for real. And I'm like, the way that we talk in Texas, we call everyone love, darling, babe, but I was wrong for it,
I think he was from Virginia, wasn't he? Like, actually, I think it was Virginia.
I have no idea. He's a bit odd. But yeah, it was a lot to deal with. And it was to the point where like there was this one girl who clearly was trying to get at him. and I addressed him about it, right? Like off the app. And it was to the point where like I was sitting on a panel with just me, him, and her. And I'm just like sitting there listening to them like just flirt. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing this no more. So I was like, yo, like y'all are both disrespectful. I'm done with this. And he just started calling me a C-U-N-T and all kinds of crazy stuff. Like while there was all these people in his live, it was very embarrassing. I would have thought that the women would have, you know, stuck up for me and been like, yo, like, you don't have to do this. But there was actually only one person who ever said anything and like literally told him, and they've been friends before me, and he had no issue. Shout out to Track. He had no issue like telling him to like dial it back, that like I'm a woman and you shouldn't disrespect me like that, especially in front of all these people. And it was really surprising actually, because not one single woman stuck up for me. That's crazy because I'm a girl's girl. It was diabolical, really.
We have another video. We don't have time to get into all of our videos today, guys, because the guests have been perfect today. We're going to get into this next video to jog this. Before we get into the video, let's go to the chat. In chat, I'm going to star. If you ask me a pertinent question, I'm going to star and we're going to answer it into the chat, okay? How about that? McKinnon said, Tez, name me any bit of progress that came from not addressing shitty/ignorant behavior. There is no progress that has been made without people addressing it, but there's also haven't been great loss of life. And I'm sorry, I'm not losing my life because some dude thinks that he deserves a chance with Shanika. I'm not doing that. I'm just gonna tell him sorry about his luck and move on. Ladies, get yourself a gun, get pepper spray, get yourself a poker. When these types of guys get in your face or talk to you too much at the club, spray them right in their face. I don't care. And then scream as loud as you can, blow a whistle, do whatever you got to do. You know, there are some guys that are going to protect you, but do not rely on those guys' protection, especially because the law will put us in jail. And I'm sorry, if y'all out there in a miniskirt, you probably are not going to have me go to prison for you. I'm not doing it. I will try to protect you as much as possible, especially when I have my badge on. But as far as getting in between your mess to go to prison or maim myself, I have a family too, and it is my job to protect it and to raise it. And that's the only thing that's fair. I am not just a single guy out there. I'm a father. So if y'all want to go out and twerk on the table, and don't get mad when somebody slaps it. I'm not saying that it's okay for them to do so. I'm saying don't get mad at me when I'm like, hey, get off the table. I'm gonna kick him out the club if I'm working, but if I'm not working, I can't even kick him out the club. Hey, security, he put his hands on that girl, and most of the time, security gonna say, was she throwing it back on the table? It's a rough subject because I want y'all to be safe, but I also don't think y'all should be there. So it's a 6'7" for me. You know what I'm saying? It's a 6'7". You know what a 6'7" is? I don't. That's why I said it. I don't know what a 6'7" is. I have no idea. Nobody's been able to explain it to me yet. That's why everybody shrugs their shoulders when they do it. If you got kids, you understand. They just be like 6'7". I don't know. But yeah, McKinnon, I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing with you at all. I'm just saying I'm not going to be a martyr for it. I don't want some dude punching me in the face and I have to send him to his maker. You know what I'm saying? Put him on a t-shirt. And she don't like me. You know, I'm not saying that. I don't think that's reasonable. I don't think that's reasonable at all because men will fight, especially over pretty things. Pretty shiny things, men will fight over them. Let's stop acting like men don't have a violent nature. I have told you guys this in the past, and I'll tell you this again. You know how you protect yourself from violent men? Being around a more violent man that has control. That is how you protect yourself. And also with a Glock. Yes, they help. It's legal. Sign up, carry, get lots of ammunition. Learn how to shoot it. Go to the range. Take a boxing class or Krav Maga. You know what I'm saying? Get you one of those little pokers that go between the fingers and it's like pink and sparkly. And you can just boom, boom, jab him, take both his eyes out. You know what I'm saying? Make him pay for disrespecting you, ladies. Make him pay. Two against one works. If you got the skills and I got the skills, we're going to take care of it. We're going to do it together. But y'all not leaving me holding the check. I'm not going to prison. You don't even know my name. You're not going to go to court. I don't want to be involved. That was Rodney Jr. I don't want to deal with Rodney and Rodney Jr. Whereas Roxy said, if you see a woman dealing with a Rodney, walk up, help her out, approach her like you're her man and walk off into a safe place. That's an option that you're willing to take it to your hands. Gentlemen, how many of y'all are willing to take this approach? We're going to come back to that one. I started, Roxy. Into Deep said, plus good guys aren't going up to women as much as they are ready to go as well. Most guys don't approach women in 2026. Roxy, how well do you think that's gonna go? Standing right next to me, he's 6'5", y'all. If they say no, have a blessed day, then that's what it is. That's a thirsty Rodney. I saw once that she cussed both dudes out. Roxy, no thanks. Kira, that's YN behavior. When you see the 25-plus-year-old man do that to a woman. That's at you, Kira. I can't answer that one.
I don't even remember what that was even in reference to. The chat be moving. We be having a conversation. What exactly is this?
Correct me if I'm wrong. Clarify. She said,
yeah.
Roxy said, I'm just giving options for guys to help women feel safe. Don't come at me for giving solutions. And I am not, Roxy, not at all. Into Deep said, please click on the notification bell so you don't miss future lives. It's free. Yes. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's grown 25+ men out here that can. You tell them, Soft Rain. Soft Rain gonna keep it real with you. If you don't want to do that, then don't do it. Facts. I handle rejection. Yes, you do, Soft Rain. I don't know when anybody rejected you, but I'm glad you can handle it. Tons of Mice said, my third wife gave me a fake number. It was 911. But did you call it, Tons of Mice? Billy Kershaw, since when did no mean maybe? I have never thought that no ever meant maybe, and this is why I'm confused.
Well, I remember back, I don't know how prevalent it is now, but some women do like to play that. That was back in the day though. That was like the 80s, the 90s, where the women like to play hard to get, and they'll be like, no, be laughing, so men press a little bit harder, so no can sometimes
that guy I just want to come upstairs and talk.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And the girl be like, nah, sometimes they play a little hard to get or whatever. So yeah, no doesn't always mean no, especially from women, but you just got to kind of read the room. Because nowadays the Me Too movement have men.
Oh, I was gonna say this. A couple of months ago, I did a whole story about this.
Yeah.
And it says that over 85% of women are upset that no men approach them, and then the men that do approach them are greasy losers.
Ugh, yeah.
So, all right, so Cassie, you would attest to this. You do get out sometimes with your friends, and you, like I said, you do run a pretty successful TikTok channel. Do you feel as if you get more respected by like the gold guys, like the guys that are golden versus the guys that are greasy?
Not really, actually.
Tell me about what happens with you.
I mean, well, and like on TikTok, it's just a bunch of I think there's scams, but like, I feel like it's a lot of younger guys actually who like try to get at me, especially on TikTok. And I don't want anyone younger than me, so it's already a no. But I don't know. I'm kind of just to myself these days, really.
Okay. Ain't nothing wrong with being a quiet MILF. Roxy said, Ramon, I can't say that don't happen, but I would definitely appreciate the man trying to help me escape the situation. Tons of Mike said, I mail Tez a letter every single day. And this is why I have a P.O. box, ladies and gentlemen, because if he didn't mail it, he would be at my front door. And y'all know that's a no-no. If you knock on my front door, I'm knocking you out. Ramon said, Roxy, we just got to carry a little incentive for the weirdos that will help. Exactly. Carry a little bit of that, or that pow pow, or that all of that, the stuff that make them wheeze and squishy sounds. You know what I'm saying? Hit them right between the ribs, a couple times. First, ladies, real quick, yes or no question. All I need is a yes or no from y'all out of this one. Can you throw a punch?
Yes.
We know you can. You talked about this on the last episode. We know you can throw a punch. How about you, Kira?
Yeah, we have a trainer that comes here that does boxing training in the backyard. It's mainly when the weather is nice, but yeah, we definitely don't let this pretty demure demeanor fool you now, Tez.
Y'all better watch out. They're violent. Tristan Lewis said, I've been rejected so many times. I make a game out of it. I can't tell when it's about to happen. So Tristan is cool about it. He's a younger brother, and he's cool with getting rejected. He said he make a game out of it. But then again, he probably oozes confidence, and he doesn't care. I had a rule when I got rejected. It was on to the next one, right? Before the song came out, they stole my idea. It was on to the next one, and I was just like, okay, she don't like me, on to the next one. We don't sit in it. I got a whole meme about this. Y'all seen the meme? Well, Kira probably hasn't, but Cassie thinks my memes are funny. So, the meme said, so what are your intentions with our daughter? And he's like, well, we don't sit on it. We move on. we're not worried about yesterday's victory. We're on to the next victory. And that's how I looked at it when I was getting rejected. When I was shooting shots, now I'm just like, I'm just gonna keep to myself. I don't like people anyway. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, whatever. When I was shooting shots, it was, if I got rejected, I just dropped her and kept moving to the next one. But then when she called me back, which she always did, when she called me back, I don't want to talk to you. You don't like me. You want my stuff. You found out something about me, didn't you? What did you find out? What did you find out? The funniest one is when people find out that I do things, then I go places and I have stuff, and they're like, well, I want to do that, and I want to enjoy that. Why didn't you tell me that you did this? I remember I had been friends with Cassie probably for like 4 months, and then like out of nowhere, I joined one of her lives. I was sitting in the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah, literally.
And she was like, where are you? And I was like, I'm sitting in the Pacific Ocean. I came to Hawaii by myself, and everybody's making out on the beach. So I'm just gonna be in the ocean enjoying myself. It's nice and sunny. I'm getting chocolate, even more chocolate than I am every day. I'm enjoying this. I'm getting some good vitamins in this system. I got my sunblock on, and I got my nice, my shades on, because I protect my eyes, y'all. That's what this is, eye protection. But I protect my eyes, y'all, and yeah, because I got to be able to see at my position. But she was like, well, what are you in Hawaii for? And I was like, oh yeah, I play for Team USA. And she was like, you do what? You never said any of this. I was like, yeah, I just be in places being normal.
For real.
She's like, wait a minute. Let me get this straight. You've been to Costa Rica, Mexico, Greece, Hawaii, and Florida, and Tampa this year. And I was like, yeah. I was like, but St. Louis and Minnesota too. And she was like, St. Louis and Minnesota too. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I had to stay over in Seattle before I got here, so that counts. Supposed to go to Vegas later too. She was like, so y'all just travel all over the world playing sports? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, why did you not say anything about this? I was like, I don't know. I didn't think about it.
It's interesting.
And I'm not saying that's what she did. She obviously didn't do nothing like that. She cool peoples. But there are plenty of people that they find out stuff like that, and they're like, oh, well, now I want to talk to you. Now I want to be interested. I'm like, I don't want to be interested in you anymore.
Like that.
Like I just figured that you were, just some broke guy. Like, here's the worst one, right? When they assume that you're like some big tubby guy because you're wide, and then they realize that like you are a solid muscle. Oh, look, the shoulders and the arms. Stop touching me. I did not. I said no, Shelly. That's where I live.
Not Shelly.
I was gonna say that.
It'd be the Shellys. I don't know what it is. It'd be the Shellys. Michelle, Rochelle, Lushelle. I don't understand it. It'd be the Shellys. They can't keep their hands off people. Tristan, so I agree with Tristan on this. And there are a lot of guys that are like this, where we have made a game out of it to the point of where like, okay, I shot my shot, shoot or shoot. But then you move on when you miss the shot. Either you get a rebound, you know what I'm saying? Or you go block somebody else's shot if you're a hater. That's just how it works. Correct me if I'm wrong, podcast said. I don't know. Oh, no. Roxy said, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if you were being Rodney. Not no more. You're a married man. I don't like people, so I don't go out. I don't know nothing about what y'all talking about. Y'all can have y'all conversation. I'm gonna skip over all of these. Tristan said, COVID made it okay for people like us to be unapologetic to tell someone to back up. Yeah, it did. People got diseases, y'all. They gross out there. They nasty. I told y'all, they put their fingers in their nose. If they'd do that and then shake your hand, imagine where else they would put it. Especially couples. Y'all be nasty too. I don't want to touch neither one of y'all.
Oh, shit.
Do whatever you got to do, man. I don't know what that means, but do whatever you got to do. I ain't saying no to money. Roxy said, cut all the way off. We're not going for round 2. Soft rain, over 20%. Hello again, Mr. Appreciate the shout out. No problem. I'm Master Cupid. Classic goes around saying women are evil and manipulative by nature, that they're the problem in society, that they should be quiet, that women shouldn't have equal rights, and he's in your circle. But that's, to me, that's not the same thing. That's an opinion. That's not the same thing as being violent towards women. I think women's safety is about violence towards women. I don't necessarily think it's about somebody having an opinion over who hurt him when. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I could be wrong. But I feel like this is more so him saying that he has boundaries, and his boundaries are a result of what he's seen and dealt with. I haven't lived in that man's shoes. Can I tell you that the most people that I have been around have also been evil and manipulative by nature? Yes, the majority of them have. I'm not going to say all of them or anything like that, or even the majority of society, because I don't know the majority of society. But the majority that I have been around, yes, they have been evil and manipulative by nature. There's nothing that you can do to save them, and that they're the product of whatever they chose to believe in. I do believe that. I don't know about all of society. I don't know what caused him to believe what he believes about all of them. I don't believe that that he's ever said that. But if he did, he did. And that's on him to answer. Me personally, if you're asking me if that same question, which I think that you are, I will tell you the majority of the ones that I have known have not been great people. They haven't. That's not saying that I don't have a lot of great women friends. As you can see, I have two wonderful ladies up here right now. Kirra is becoming a friend. I could definitely say that me and Cassie are friends. And I don't think that either one of them have an evil nature. They might be a little manipulative.
But can I? I want to jump in before I hop off.
Go ahead, Kirra.
I just don't want to be late for school pickups. But to add to this situation, or what McKinnon is saying, I think from what I've experienced, that what Classic does is that he identifies like certain nature in women, and I do believe that women have the ability and capability to be evil, the ability and capability to be manipulative, and it's up to us to kind of, as a woman, to subdue those natures, like innate natures that we find ingrained in how women was created. Like even with men, you can say men are emotionally shut off, or men are, there are certain things that we can say about men as well. So I don't think as a woman listening to when Classic say those things about other women, I don't think he's saying it in terms of like being hurtful to women. I think it's just identifying what and how a woman could be. And you see it very often. So I wouldn't necessarily take that as him not holding, like making sure we good or safe.
StreamYard, clip this. Yes. I like that answer. I can't speak for him. He has his own platform to speak. Hey Chanel, how you doing? Chanel said, "Hi girls."
Hey.
Hey.
So I got one more, Kirra. I know you got to get out of here. I won't keep you, even though they're going to keep talking to you. So if you can join the chat, please join the chat. I would appreciate it. Correct me if I'm wrong, podcast said. I beg to differ, Kirra. There are far more O's than Rodneys.
Yeah, but I think a man who doesn't have, like I always say, a man who doesn't have dick discipline is a Rodney to me. Like, I think that is one of the strongest things that a man could do, is like suppress his sexual appetite. Like, because there are a lot of things that I don't know, just an overly promiscuous man is just like, that shit just make my skin crawl, man. I don't know.
I'm a firm believer in picking and choosing. I pick and choose with just about everything. I'm not necessarily a random person with anything in my life. I don't think I have enough time on this planet. I do believe I am some type of mortal. You know what I mean? Like, I have a physical body, and my physical body does get hurt and get injured. I realize this on the playing field more than anything else. So I will say that protecting my body has been one of the number one things in my life. And that's why I pick and choose. But I make good choices. I have made some bad ones, but I learned from my mistakes. And you know whose fault it was that I made a mistake? It was mine. It was my fault that I made a mistake. I did that.
Yeah, but I don't think, but just like how I would say not all men are cheaters, right? But
black men don't even cheat, from what I've heard.
Okay. Based off of my experiences, I like to beg to differ. Okay. But not all, but just like how I would say not all men who cheat are cheaters, right? I think that there are people who can be reformed, but it has to be something that they want to do. Like, that's why I applaud men who have dick discipline, because that could be another thing too, based on what I was saying earlier. Like men have more of a sexual drive than women, right? Where everybody can, but that's another
why. But here's the thing, though. I also choose women that can handle mine. I give them. There's a term that has been created for what happens when a woman talks and deals with me. It's called TezDown syndrome.
Yeah, but the TezDown syndrome is different than a guy who doesn't display this dick discipline. So
I know that's what I'm saying.
We talk about.
That's what I'm saying. I have to. Could you imagine if I had 150 of my type running around? Like, you guys, I live in a big city. It's a lot of people. It's a lot of tall buildings. A whole lot of people in the buildings. You know what I'm saying? And then you've got events like Lollapalooza that's right there in the heart of the city. It's beans. You see bean all shiny. You know what I'm saying? So you get out there, ain't nobody got no clothes on, and they all shaking at the Polo G. If I lost my composure and attracted everything and turned up my maximum attraction, and I poured it on thick, the mouthpiece was perfect that day, smoother than the cream cheese on your bagel that you just ate before you got on the platform today. Okay, if I turned that on, and they started getting all of that, and I got a 1,000 little Tez minions running around. On top of that, I probably done caught like 50 different STDs.
Yep.
Those are not touchdowns. Those are not special touchdowns. Those are transmitted diseases, y'all. Not special touchdowns. STD does not stand for special touchdown. It's not for special TezDown either. That does not exist. No, it's TezDown syndrome, not ST. Y'all get what I'm saying? It's TDS. The real TDS. You have to have discipline with what you do as a man, and you have to be able to say no as a man, but you have to also be able to have conviction so other men see that, hey, that's a guy I want to be like. I don't want to be like Rodney. Yes, Rodney gets all the little grasshoppers and all of the lobsters that's running around, but lobsters have pinchers, and sometimes they're crabs. So you don't want those. You don't want those. You definitely don't. Could you imagine that? 1,000 little bites all over your skin. Nobody wants that. You know what I'm saying? All hoochie coochie is not good hoochie coochie. Is what I'm saying. You have to be able to be disciplined, and unfortunately, there's a double-edged sword. One side of that is rejection, and one side is getting everything you want. You have to live right on the tip of it. No pun intended. No pun intended. There are guys who get none, so they'll take whatever is offered, and then there are guys who can choose. But here's the thing: I like being myself. I like being Cortez, which means that if I'm sitting in a room by myself, it could be lonely, but it's perfectly fine because it's a whole lot of me in here. A lot of people aren't that comfortable with themselves. They need somebody to define them. Nobody can define me by being with me. Nobody can define me by putting a ring on their finger that I gave them. Nobody could define me by having my children. Nobody could even define me if they had a ruler. You know what I'm saying? That's how at peace I am with who I am as a human being. I would preach that peace in being yourself before I preached anything else. And then I would preach everything else. But I also preach being a big, strong dude that can protect the people in your life. So if my sister came and told me that somebody said something crazy to her, I could do something about it. And guess what? Every time she did, I did something about it every time. If my other sister called me in California right now and said there's a weird dude living downstairs, I might be tempted to get a ticket. You know, I might be tempted to get a ticket, not just because it's LA, but because, hey, you're not gonna mess with my sister. But my sister's fine. She has scalpels. You know what I'm saying? Them scalpels are sharp. And she know how to use them. You know what I'm saying? She could dissect the human that quick. But yeah, Kirra, you are free if you need to leave.
Yes, thank you so much for having me, Tez. This was awesome.
Yeah, I would love to have you back anytime as you become a regular at this point.
Yeah.
I did 3 shows, and 3 shows I done done. Kirra done been on 3 shows.
I know. No, just let me know, Tez. Just let me know.
My last 3 shows in a row, Kirra has been on, so I appreciate Kirra a lot. So.
No problem. Anytime. Good seeing you, Cassie.
Yes, nice to meet you. Have a good one.
Yep, have a good one.
So we got a whole lot of comments. We're going to catch up to them. Cassie, you ready to catch up to these comments with me? All right. McKenna said, I was on the show and I asked him directly. Yes, he did say all of what he claimed. He did. Ladies adjusted. The 80-20 rule. The study shows that the bottom 80% of men, in terms of attractiveness, compete for roughly the bottom 22% of women, while the top 78% of women compete for the top 20% of men. The 80-20 rule study showed that the bottom 80%. You posted it twice, and of course, I meant Pookie. Yes, you did. No, I'm not beefing. I'm not mad at Classic. It's common stuff. When he asked for the chat, their opinion, I offer no beef, no hate, just spirit. I agree. There's no beef there, guys. It's just good conversation. Let's go back this way. In Too Deep, Pop the Balloon is a perfect example of today's dating market. It is a perfect example. And there's another show that I like. I wasn't going to play today, but I don't have time. It's called Meet Me at the Club. It's a new show that's up and coming. It's better than Pop the Balloon in my opinion. It's called Meet Me at the Club. I would love to play this. Matter of fact, I might want to play a clip of it. What do you think, Cassie? Should we meet them at the club?
He's doing that thing and it's on my tablet.
Yes, I'm down.
All right, let's meet them at the club. That's fine.
You've noticed him. Maybe.
Wow, so much support.
All right, let's meet them at the club, Cassie. We're going to turn it up a little bit. Let's meet them at the club and let's see what's going on. Y'all ready for Meet Me at the Club? I hope this doesn't get me stricken because I don't know anything about their rules, but we're going to do it right now. Meet Me at the Club, y'all.
Would you approach him at the club?
I like his outfit. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
I just chose you because it took you a little bit longer to answer.
So he lost points for hesitating?
Yeah, and I had to choose somebody, so.
You know what? It's all good. Now she gets to see me, so I hope she regrets letting me.
And it's the way you said
that's
that.
a Rodney.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. Bouncer, get him out of here. All right, dark chocolate. Wow. We're going to move on.
He said his dolphins walking on land.
We're going to move on to our next round. And that's the stand on it round. Stand on it questions is a question that we've actually asked them ahead of time. Who's your celebrity crush and why? You need to make an elimination based off of their answers, and you're not going to know who said what. So you have to stand on your decision, and you have to stand on what you said. We'll have the bouncer bring me over their answers. Thank you, Bounce.
No, Brent, we are live.
The first answer is Claro because I'm a performative male.
Who's Claro?
The next one is Bailey Bass because she advocates for the ocean. The next one is Dua Lipa because she's creative and she has good taste and she's funny. And the next one is Janae Aiko because she's so calm, sweet, nurturing, and soft. The last one is Alicia Baumgardner because she's beautiful and she got hands. Okay, thank you. Whisper into my ear quietly so they don't know who's your least favorite answer. Okay, let the bouncer know. We're going to move on to the next reveal, and that's going to be the hair reveal. They're going to take off those bonnets and let you know what they're working with underneath them. Take off your bonnets. Talk about variation. So now it's time for the bouncer to let them know who got eliminated. Different route. Switching it up. Okay. So you eliminated the person that said Claro. One more time, what's your stripper name?
Zoran Mom Daddy.
If Claro was right in front of you, how would you strip? Wow. Where do we go from here? Did you practice at home?
No.
No choreography?
Just improvising right now.
Wow, that's impressive. Take notes.
I was impressed.
What do you think of Candace?
You're very confident and very pretty.
Oh, thank you.
I really love your vibe. It's very cool.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You're silly. I like that.
I'm silly. Okay.
And tell me, why did you eliminate him for that answer?
I didn't know who she was.
Claro is a musician, very famous on TikTok these days for calling out performative males. People listen to her to sound cool.
Okay.
But I've been listening to her way before.
Okay.
Yeah.
And tell me, why haven't you found love? I know last time you said you were new to
There's
LA.
so many
It's been a couple
comments,
weeks.
guys. I'm so sorry I can't get to all of them.
Wow, LA is like
literally hundreds
very
of comments.
Tough city for love, I think.
I didn't want to tell you.
Yeah, because the next Brad Pitt or the next Ryan Gosling is like standing right next to me, and everyone thinks that they're a celebrity too. So the standards are very high.
Do her standards scare you off, or is it a turn on for you?
When you first said what you want in a guy, I really liked that a lot because that was very genuine.
Thank you. I thought so too.
And very humble too.
That's the list of qualities. So I actually do feel like some chemistry here. I don't know. Sometimes I just feel it. I'm just letting you know. So he's still gonna be here just in the sideline section. So if you find yourself thinking about him,
Okay.
Right there.
you know what to do.
Let's
what
fast
was your name
forward.
again?
I'm not gonna play the whole episode for y'all. Who's next?
I mean, you know, it's a one. If I feel you like that, yeah.
You've been itching to answer that question. I know. Wow.
Was definitely ready with his answer.
Sexual energy is one of the most divine forms of connection.
The dark
So I'm gonna mark it
dolphin.
as a
Y'all
need
talking
to
about
release all
dolphins in
kind
here.
of
Here you go.
Bonding, endorphins, like oxytocin and stuff that spiritually and physically sort of unite you with your partner. Good sex is a need.
Definitely.
Scientific. Contestant number 3.
I'm gonna keep it short, and I'm agree with my man's in the beginning. It's a both.
Let's see who comes up next. We're gonna keep on going. Y'all can definitely check in. Oh, not Rodney behavior.
Damn, he went there.
Okay. I'll find Cassie. I'll play for you.
Ah, no thanks.
All right, you can follow me this way. All right, Dark Dolphin, go deep.
Y'all want me to strip or strip?
It's really up to you.
Any man who asked that.
Okay, we're not about stripping men though here, so let's just go ahead. Put your clothes back on, brother.
I'm gonna say just based off of because we're talking about dating, it got a little deep with that, but I'm into deep conversations like that, you know? I'm like very much so.
If you're into
like
it, why did you delete me?
because we're just meeting.
Okay, let's go back and see what the conversation was about.
The Dark Dolphin.
I'm gonna say just based off of because we're talking about dating, it got a little deep with that, but I'm into deep conversations like that, you know? I'm like very much so.
If you're into
like
it, why did you delete me?
because we're just meeting. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, you asked why relationships aren't working. So we're going to the root of the problem. CIA propaganda and gender warfare.
That is true.
It's
And I usually
basically-
say, I'm going to be honest, because when I date people, I'm more like, what's the root or how we even got to that part? But then honestly, like the conversation or how we even like deal with emotional problems when we're not like, let's just say like connecting or understanding each other is even deeper than the root of the problem. Does that make sense?
So you're saying the root of the problem is deeper than the root of the problem?
A little bit. It's like weird though. You got to play around with it. Yeah, because not everybody thinks to the root of the problem.
So you're saying you don't think to the root of the problem?
No, I do, but it hasn't helped me in life.
Okay. Well,
Because I like, the root of the problem, I could tell someone, oh, you're raised by a single parent, and then they're gonna like get offended by that.
well,
Most
that's
of the
not
time
the
they
person
do.
for you.
So y'all are on the same page or no?
Kinda, yeah.
Well, listen, I'll be
Mhm.
honest. Exhibit A, one of the first things you said in the show, before I knew anything about you, you said, I want my man to provide. I
Mhm.
want a traditional relationship.
Mhm.
But the truth is, we are not in a traditional environment.
This is very true.
So before I knew anything about you, I knew what you wanted from me.
Mhm.
And that's kind of a turnoff.
Yep. Why?
I didn't know anything about you
Mhm.
and anything
She
about your
gave him the
personality,
mic.
anything about what you like. It's just that, what can you give me?
Yeah, I don't really want to like downgrade my life.
I
for
mean, but you
somebody.
said, I want a man that
Yeah.
can take care of me.
Yeah, I
wanna
want a
take
man
care
that
of
wants to do it though.
I mean, of
Place
course, a
right
man
now.
wants to do it, but
Not
when that's
all
the
men want to
first
do
thing
it.
you say, when that's the first
Yeah.
thing you say,
Mhm.
it's kind of like,
Because I ain't wasting my time no more. You feel me? I like to tell people what I'm looking for, so no one's confused. I'd
I
rather
mean,
be
why
an
not
open
tell
book.
them about who you are as a person?
Oh yeah, we can do that on a friendship level. But if someone's coming to
Whoa.
approach me like I want to date you, I'm gonna be like, okay, well, what?
Whoa,
do you
even
want?
the other
But you didn't
dudes.
say what
you
you want. You
checked his
said what
watch?
I want.
What you want?
No,
You
you said
talking
what
about-
you want.
What I want, yeah. And the guy has to want to be a provider, or I'm not the girl for you.
But like I said, when that is the first topic
Mhm.
of conversation, can you see how a man can kind of be a little off put by that?
I don't care. That's the problem.
Ooh.
That's why you're still single.
You get what I'm saying? I don't care. Like maybe if I was upfront to other men like that, I wouldn't continue like a 3-year long relationship. I don't have time for that anymore. I like to let people know what's up, and I think LA people don't do that a lot. They don't even tell men what they want, So I'm just keeping it real.
All right, well, we're gonna have the bouncer take you to the sideline.
All right, so that's Meet Me at the Club, y'all. Y'all could go ahead and tap in with Meet Me at the Club. That's a new show that's out there now. So let me ask you this question, right? Was he wrong in saying that to her after she had already deleted him from the group?
I mean, I don't think he was wrong for it. Like, even though he was deleted, he was still honest.
Yeah.
Like, imagine if she would have picked him. He'd be like, you picked me, but I don't pick you. Because he's right. That is a turnoff.
Yeah. So okay. So let me just
Of course, I would like that, but it's definitely not the first thing I'm going to say. Because
let me reach in the bag and grab an old persona of somebody that don't exist no more. Okay. Let me just hold on real quick. All right. So he's here now. All right. He's here now. We used to call him the one. So I'm gonna tell you like what the one want to say. And basically the one is saying like, look, if you don't do all the stuff that I want you to do, then I'm gonna go ahead and keep it moving. Somebody else is gonna do it. I ain't gonna tell you. I don't really care. Like all that stuff you want to do, you just gotta get with the program. You feel me? That don't sound cool, does it?
No.
That don't sound fun. That's what he heard from her.
Yes.
That's what most of us that are searching for, an actual connection actually hear. You got to take care of me. You got to take care of my kids. You got the kids come first. You come last always. I can't feed you first. I can't, all the stuff that, and I don't think it's a huge, it's more of a traditional thing and whatever culture you came from or who eats when. But trust me, there are some relationships where it does matter who, like if I had an excuse, like, okay, if you are, if you are a parent, I am a parent, if you are a parent and you see that your kids take priority over whatever for a lot of reasons, would you be upset if you met a guy that said, "Look, you got all these things that you got to do before you get to me. I think it's only fair that I keep all these things that I'm doing in front of you."
Hold on, say that again. Sorry.
If you tell a man, "I have all these things in front of you before I get to you. I will get to you, but it's going to be after I do this." So you might get 5% energy. You might get, put my foot on you on the bed at night while we watching TV action.
I don't know. I've never really had. I wouldn't really know how to answer that, honestly.
I would take that because you would keep your priorities separate from your relationship.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I've actually never been in that situation. Unfortunately.
Do you think that she was right in saying that she doesn't want to waste her time anymore? She doesn't have time for a 3-year relationship. She wants the princess treatment and she wants it now.
I mean, I don't think she's wrong for it. It's her preference, but I think it would probably, like, nowadays, I think it would be harder for her to find someone.
Okay. I like that. I like that answer. I got one more video for you guys. This is going to be a video here. We got one more video and then me and Cass are going to wrap it up.
What?
Okay, I'm sorry, Ace.
Listen,
I'm not even going to speak to the young lady. I got to speak
let's get this guy out of here. We got a whole another one.
Listen, bro.
Where'd they go?
I now have a daughter who's 7
All right,
years
let's go
old.
back.
Bro,
Okay, I'm sorry, Ace.
Listen,
This is
I'm
from
not
tonight's
even gonna
conversation.
Speak to the young lady. I got to speak to this gentleman. Listen, bro. I now have a daughter who's 7 years old who I'm already praying for her husband. I would be pissed if she ran into a guy like you who would let a woman sit up here and ask questions about a relationship and you ain't got your ass up and got behind her back. You ain't got behind her and make sure that she okay. You ain't spoke to her. You ain't did nothing. And let me tell you this, I don't diss men because I'm for men, but men make it happen. Boys make excuses. Stop making excuses and take care of this woman if you want her. If you don't, let her go, bro, because this woman is worthy. You are smart, you are intelligent, you are loved, you are cared for, you are honored, you are trusted, you are faithful. Baby, guess what? This is what a man do. He encourages you, he speaks to you, he honors you, he pours into you. So if you don't have a man to do that, you ran into a little boy.
Flash the lights one more time. Flash the lights.
And I said what I said.
Flash the lights.
What you think about that, Cass?
Yeah, he went in. I don't even blame him for being that hyped about it because that's crazy.
So I gotta ask: is it? At what point do you want a man to step in when you're using your voice?
I mean, I feel like if my man really knows me, he'll know when it's to the point where, like, I'm being attacked because I do have my own voice. I can handle myself, but if you're really connected like that, you'll be able to know when to step in. Like, I'm definitely not going to get mad about it if you do step in at the wrong time. I'm just not like that. And I've also never really had anyone to stick up for me, honestly, like that.
So basically, if I'm being heard correctly, we as men, we kind of have to become mind readers, and if we don't become mind readers, then we're in the wrong, no matter what. It's okay to say it. It's
You don't have to be a mind.
you're on the show,
but
so it's fine. You can say whatever you want here. You're safe.
yeah,
Nobody
no,
is going to
I don't
attack
think
you
I'd be
on
a
my
mind
show.
reader, like, I feel like that's a bit much, right? A mind reader. But if you're really connected, you'll be able to tell whenever your woman is feeling like she's like at a point where she's being attacked versus she's just like standing on business and putting her foot down. What is it?
You feel the energy for sure.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. You feel the energy.
Right. So here's the question: Is someone less of a man because they let you fight your own battles?
I don't think it makes them less of a man. But I don't know, at the same time, like, I don't know, I kind of see both sides, I guess, because like if you're my man, like why do I have to fight my own battles anyways? Like, I don't know. I feel like you're like, if you're my protector, right? Like, just, or if you feel like it's too much for you or it's making you feel a certain way, like I'm being totally disrespected, then by all means, like, step in and have my back. I definitely don't have a problem with that. It's kind of a turn on for me.
So okay, so it's what I thought it was. Y'all should have this conversation early. I'm going to say it straight up. I think that men should have this conversation with the women that they're interested in. I don't think that there should be guesswork. I think that they should be talking to them about things. I think that if they're not talking to them and they're not having the conversations with them, then, they might be a little bit less manly than they thought they were.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Yeah, I can see that.
So it's a whole lot going on the chat right now, but y'all can keep having it out in the chat. I can't read all that on here because that will definitely not help my quest to monetization on this platform. He said, I don't know any, I'm not talking about that. Have a good trip. Have a good trip. Yeah, so I mean, I see all these on here. Yeah. I'm reading them, y'all. I'm reading them, but I'm not reading them on here. That's a lot of conversation. I do have a kick. So kick has been booming too. As y'all can see, I have the kick messages that are coming in. I'm trying to do this multi-platform thing the right way. Have a good trip over there. What's his name? Down Bad Productions. Have a nice trip. Down Bad Productions. You have a good time. So I got a couple questions before we get up out of here, Cassie.
Yes.
All right. I wrote them down this time.
Okay.
So I wouldn't forget. What would make you feel like men are genuinely trying to protect you?
Oh God. I don't know. Ask that again. Sorry.
I said, what would make you feel like men are genuinely trying to protect you?
I mean, so like, I don't know. When you say protect, like, what do you mean? Like physically?
So holding other men accountable.
I don't know.
All right, we're gonna skip that one. Y'all remember that in the chat. We not get an answer. We'll come back to it another day. Maybe it could be a question of the day on another podcast or another panel. What's one behavior men need to unlearn immediately?
Oh God. I need to get out more.
Just say one thing that guys do that you don't like.
I mean, that's well, yeah, maybe they shouldn't be too clingy. I don't like being a clingy person.
All right.
Like, I'm out with my friends, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't be texting me the whole fucking time. I've been in a relationship like that where like it's like, oh yeah, go out with your friends, and then I do, and then like texting me the whole time, and I'm
what
like,
if he just misses you?
and that's fine, because I mean, I will like see. Look, I'm the type of woman where like if I'm out with my girls, I'm gonna miss you. So after like an hour and a half, maybe I'm gonna step outside and I'm gonna FaceTime you. Because
Roxy said, "Stop thinking that all women are playing hard to get." I agree, Roxy. Women don't be playing hard to get. They don't like y'all asses. So I like this next one. How can men listen without feeling attacked? In your opinion?
I don't. That's actually a really good question. I don't know. Because I'm not a man.
Do women feel attacked when men say women don't do this or women don't do that? Do women feel attacked when men say that?
I mean, sometimes, yeah, because like I'm my own person. Don't categorize me.
Okay, that's all. That's the only one we needed. I had another one. What does the world look like where women feel safe? What does it actually look like? All women feel safe. What does that world look like? Just tell me in your from your woman's perspective.
Fuck. Right? These are tough. I don't know, Tez.
Okay.
I don't know how to answer that one.
I can't answer it either. What's one message you want every man watching this to take very seriously?
Just, I mean, listen to your partner. Just because they talk to you about something that like may bother them, it doesn't mean like, I don't even know how to explain that. How would I explain that? Just listen. Like, y'all hear us, like y'all it's like y'all listen, but y'all don't really be hearing. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Like, I can be telling you something like, yeah, you listen to me, but like, are you really hearing me? So just like pay attention.
Yeah, I mean, I paid all my tickets. I'm kidding. I heard you.
See what I'm saying?
Are men worried more about being accused than women are about being harmed?
Okay, wait, say that one more time. Sorry.
Are men more worried about being accused than women are about being harmed?
100%.
I would say yes, but I don't really think it's their fault. Like, I mean, like for me personally, I feel like, I don't know. I can be very insecure, but because of my past, yeah, it's not your fault. But I do feel like a lot of men like they kind of expect it from us, like because of our past, especially if you're with a girl that's been through a lot. Like, I feel like you would feel that way, right? You'd expect to be accused.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't. I mind my own business.
Well, that's true, but not everybody does.
I'm completely oblivious, and I'm that way on purpose. If somebody wants to do what they're doing inside of a relationship that I'm in, they better not let me find out, because it won't be a relationship anymore. I'm not having a conversation with about it. I'm just gonna be done. Man, she was pretty. Now she gone. That sucks.
Yeah, that's valid.
But you know what? Pretty girls everywhere. I live in a metropolis. And then if I wanted to be a guy, I could just be on Tinder. I could go on TikTok. I could do anything to find a woman. So I can't be so upset anymore if one doesn't act right. But the minute you start getting the accusation vibes, that could ruin your entire life forever. She gonna forget that she accused you. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
From a man's perspective, yes, men are way more concerned about being accused than most women are about being attacked. Because in my opinion, and this might be wrong, but I'm gonna state it truthfully. If I'm somewhere where I think that I'm gonna get attacked, I'm not gonna be there. I'm not gonna try to make legislation for me to be there either. I'm just not gonna go.
Yeah.
You know, I stopped going to protests because I realized that I was in danger at the protests. It's easier to talk behind the screen. They don't know where I live. But if I have 1,000 of them there, 10,000 of them there protesting or counter protesting, I'm more in danger. That's not to tell people not to protest. That's just saying that you're not going to catch me out there with my sign.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's just drama. I don't like crowds anyway. I ain't trying to get trampled. You know, there was a club trampling in Chicago. Look up E2. We covered it as part of History Month a couple of months ago. But that's one of those things. I think I got one more for you, and then I'm gonna let you do your thing and we can talk about it. Do you feel that that women have to manage men's behavior to stay safe?
I mean, we shouldn't have to, but
No, do you feel like you do have to?
no. Not with where I'm at now. No.
Thanks, Into Deep. Cassie appreciates that, I'm sure. You guys can follow Cassie on TikTok at tiktok.com/@ThatGirlCassie25. Don't forget the 25, y'all. And
Yeah.
soon on YouTube as That Girl Cassie. You should probably get that up right away. Probably
I
after
know.
the show is over. Just change it right afterwards. So I can, get your episodes in because you're getting kind of important on this platform. And people are seeing your face. You had a rerun video go for about 100 views. 55 people were live in there for a rerun. They liked your episode.
Yay, I love that.
They liked your insights. They're probably gonna like this one too. So my final what's the final verdict? What's the final verdict? What can we as men do to keep women safer? I have no pushback on this. Say whatever you want.
I mean, yeah, that's actually a good one. Just give us no reason not to trust you.
I mean, what if you have a reason?
I mean, I shouldn't. If I have a reason, it's your fault.
I couldn't keep up either, Chanel, because I had guests. If I didn't have any guests, I probably would have got to every comment. But the guests today, I wanted to give them my undivided attention. So they say men don't pay attention. I paid attention today.
Good job, Tez.
Thanks, Cassie. I appreciate that. Pat ourselves on the back there. You can too. You got 2 arms, right? Pat yourself on both shoulders. You know what I'm saying? Or if you can reach your back, do that too. I gotta say, I'm a firm believer in protecting yourself. I'm a firm believer in not engaging in practices that may be dangerous. I'm a firm believer in not going places that you weren't invited. I'm a firm believer in keeping my black ass inside the house. I don't really need to be out in the streets. I don't think that it's a fun time. I think that it's a problem waiting to happen. And every time that I'm out, I'm like waiting for somebody to do something. And that's just the way that I think. And nobody's ever going to change that. Nobody's ever going to change. Every time I go out, I know there's a potential for me to get into something and not come home tonight.
Yeah,
I think it would behoove all women to think the same way.
Yeah.
I think y'all be a lot safer if y'all realize that the streets aren't safe and that we can clean them up some, but without taking the preventative measures, without the or else being there, it's hard for people to act right, no matter where you go, no matter what they're acting right about. There needs to be an or else. If there was no attendant and no cameras on duty, how many people are going to pay for the food inside the candy shop? Not many. People are going to get over. If there's no or else, if there's no one, if the tollway didn't open, you wouldn't run the tolls because it doesn't open. You're stuck there until you pay it. Right?
I know.
I'm just saying, people, in my opinion, people will get away with what they think they can get away with, which is why I don't trust people, which is why I stay away from people. And why when I do go out, it's a small group in a very chill place, unless I'm working and have all of my tools, if you know what I'm saying, the mouse tool, up the mouse tool on them. You know what I'm saying? Unless I'm out, that's the only time you gonna catch me out. You know what I'm saying? So that's just letting people know they can catch me out, or they could be Swiss cheese. At the end of the day, have to see their nose doctor, get some rhinoplasty after I'm done. Hope you got a good dentist.
For real.
You know what I mean? Hope you got a good dentist. Plastic surgery, you might need to reattach that orbital socket. You know what I'm saying? Stay dangerous is probably the best way to stay safe. Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. I want things to be better for women. I don't want y'all to be walking around here unsafe and mad and angry all the time and not wanting to, make quesadilla tacos for me, because I truly love quesadilla tacos. All the women that are listening, if you can make those, you've instantly got a warmer place in my heart. Doesn't mean I'm going to date you, but I will eat your food if it's good. And if you're clean and sanitary, you know what I mean? I will do that. I might even pay for the food too. But there are some things that you guys can do better than me. And I don't ever aspire to do them as well as you wonderful ladies do. We do want to keep you safe. We do. But we can't ignore the elephants that are in the room. Being in bad places, talking to people that are dangerous in the wrong way, and making excuses for them, and also not leaving at the first sign of drama or trouble. The first sign of drama and trouble is not a disagreement. The first sign of drama or trouble is when you get the hair standing up on the back of your neck because something that they did and or said, raised their voice at you in a way that was unhealthy.
Yep.
Pushed you a little bit too rough, grabbed you a little bit too tight, left a bruise, stole from your wallet or into a purse, took your car and not their own, and didn't come back when they were supposed to come back. There's lots of things that people do and they make excuses for that that don't make any sense, and because those are Rodney behaviors. I would caution all of you to take a reevaluation of the Rodney behaviors that you may have seen and may not have seen, and maybe we could talk about it at a later show. I'm sure Cassie would be down to talk about more Rodneys, wouldn't you, Cassie?
I definitely would have plenty of Rodneys.
Okay, all right. So you guys go ahead and do that. We got a whole lot of comments. Thank you. What's up, Chanel? I appreciate you being here the whole time, Chanel. So said, welcome down. I didn't even get a chance to use all my fun things today because everybody was yapping, including me. Dang, that's crazy, ain't it? Soul told me to welcome down.
What the
That's
hell?
what I'm gonna do. Continue walking them down. I really wish we could have got to the rest of the part. Into Deep says classic going up soon, most likely, I'm sure. Says sub to the RSC. We trying to get to 500. Yes, they are. Yes, we are. What else we got in here? He said family reunions on steroids. Yep. Then y'all got a whole lot of here. He said don't put that on marriage. These got to do with that what they tell them or they cut out. Classic said tiptoe lightly. He said out of turn. Tell me you're fragile. When I tell me you're fragile. Oh man, they was going at it in here.
Damn.
Hey Cassie, what you cause? I'm blaming Cassie.
I'm sorry.
Said McKinnon drop a super chat. Just here argue with us. McKinnon's a mod. He's cool people. He said thank you for the morning support. No problem, man. You was doing your thing this morning. That being said, Cassie, I mean, you got anything for these people before I get us up out of here?
No, just follow me on TT.
Yeah, y'all follow. Hey, tell them about your birthday bash.
Oh, snap. You right. My birthday's on Wednesday, by the way, and I will be on TikTok live. It's at ThatGirlCassie25. And then I have a big birthday battle Thursday, April 16th at 8 p.m. Central. If anyone wants to come and show out, you can. Hey, you took my vape.
Oh, you got music on there, Cassie. You can't have music on there. Let me pause your music.
Me?
All right, let's go ahead.
Oh.
Y'all want to see? We're going to add it to the stage. Yeah. Remove this. Remove that.
You're so IT savvy. I love it.
Thank you. Y'all want to see? There y'all go. Oh, we tricked them. Boom.
Hey.
TikTok birthday battle. That girl Cassie versus Locked In with Sean. She got a birthday battle going on. So it's That Girl Cassie versus Locked In with Sean. That's going to be this Thursday. You guys can check out Cassie and her birthday battle and everything that she's got going on. You really feeling the green, huh?
Yes.
I feel you. Okay. So y'all go ahead and do that. Y'all take care of it. Y'all take care of each other. Take care of the ladies in your life, guys. I know it's a little bit hard for us because a lot of us are just like, hey, well, what are we supposed to do? I don't know what to do. I never know what to do. I'm just a black dude living a life by himself, not talking to nobody ever and minding his own business. But even then, there's things that I can do to help. We're gonna need a HERstory part 3. I'm sure we didn't get through half of the show yet again. We only got through the icebreaker in one video. Towards the end to close the show out. I do appreciate everybody for coming through here on the various platforms. All you guys that are on TikTok, all of you guys that are not TikTok. I'm not on TikTok right now. I am on Twitch. I am on YouTube and I am on Kick as we speak right now. Thank you everybody on Twitch that's been coming in. I am brand new to Twitch, so all 9 of y'all that came through on Twitch, I appreciate y'all. And YouTube, y'all counted a lot of people here today. And everybody that was lurking, I saw at least 40 people at once. Y'all can go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel. I got a lot of content that's going to be dropping this week and coming up, and have more guests. And obviously y'all want more of Cassie, so y'all can have more of Cassie if she's willing to be here. Y'all want more of Cassie, put some ones in the chat. I'm sure Kira's going to be here because Kira's always invited. Hey, no problem, Chanel. Thank you. That makes me feel fantastic. Especially because I don't feel like anybody needs me ever. So except one person. So it's my child. Thank you guys so much. Cassie, they want you back. They want you back and soon, and they want you in the Queen's Codes. Make sure you.
Oh my gosh. Where did they go? There you go.
I don't know where you went, but make sure you email the classic code 777@gmail.com for your entry on the Queen's Codes. It should be coming up soon. Also, you can email conversationswithsoftbrain@gmail.com. She wants you on the show. You want to be one of the raindrops? Go be one of the raindrops. Spread. Let that vicious liquid get out. But I've been Tez. I'm 24. This is the TezDown. I'll see you guys in another 24.
I'm the Tez. I'm the Tez.
Welcome to the TezDown. Welcome.
I'm the Tez.
Mic check 1 2. Welcome. Welcome to the TezDown.
Party time.